Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'll be reviewing a special set number 7823 Container Crane Depot from 1986. This arrived recently in excellent condition and it was actually from a US seller, a rare occasion. 7823 was released as part of the final selection of new sets in 1986 along with 7813 and 7839. 7823 and 7839 could be called successors to 1983's 7838 as they are all freight loading depots with a wagon. This set was one of the few gray era sets to be released in the US. Let's take a look at the box. The box is the type found in large trackside sets, including cargo depots and stations. It's between the trainside boxes and smaller accessory sets in terms of size and quality. It has the colorful box art of the train sets, but the design of the box is unique in that it has a thin cardboard outer sleeve with a more solid tray that slots in. The first DLC on the front is, as always, the language panel on the side. Like other supplemental sets, this box only has one language variant which has all the languages on it. LEGO added languages to the box released as the 1980s progressed, so wall boxes from different sets released earlier may have had as few as 9 languages. The 7823 has 12. The front of the box is a photo of the set like usual and no art of an alternate model. The sides are the standard photos and age information. So on top here, from 8 years, and then some more on the bottom, and then on the bottom of the box there is the barcode, and then if you can see that in small white text, the production date. And then the back of the sleeve has some photos of the set, including the kid building it and close-ups of some details. So here's the kid building it, and then here's like the crane opening roof, the control cabin, and then some of the shipping containers. So I'll slide the tray out now to access the inside of the box. So this tray can slide out from either side. You can see the cardboard outer sleeve is just made of thin cardboard. The tray has the instructions and the sticker sheet inside. The instructions are the larger size, like some of the train sets, but they're quite short. The building instructions put a lot of parts on per step. There's no section for a B model and even no advertisement on the back cover, just instructions to build the main freight loading depot. And then that's it. Only 10 steps to build the entire thing, and there's no advertisement on the back, just the end of the instructions. The sticker sheet is quite small and it is entirely used. I actually got the sticker sheet new with this set, but I've put the stickers on the bricks. I'll put an image of the sheet before I apply the stickers up on the screen right now. Because there are no railroad stickers, there are no resting stickers on the sheet. The set only has 10 stickers, 6 small chevron stickers for the crane, and 4 more to decorate the 2 included containers. There are no stickered assemblies in the set, which is great. The set doesn't include any significantly rare parts, just a lot of bricks, plates, and some specialty elements such as the train parts and some wheels. It also includes the winch and string for the crane. I've already built the set, so now I'll review the completed model. The completed model is a large freight loading station with a road and 2 sections of train track. The set also includes a small truck and a flatbed wagon. I'll go over the components in order of how they're built in the instructions, starting with the truck. The truck is a simple flatbed truck with space for one of the included containers in the back. The doors open here, and the roof hinges open on top. And then inside you can see the driver. One thing of note is actually the rear lights. So you see these rear lights here, they're attached with 1x1 plates with clips. You will probably recognize this piece here that the lights are attached on. Because the set was believed to have been produced during the switch from clips with thin rings to clips with thick rings, early production runs of the set will most likely have clips with thin rings, and later runs will have them with thick rings. My copy has clips with thick rings. The instructions show the wheels being attached 1 stud farther back than I've placed them, and I have deviated from the instructions because placing the wheels where it says they should be creates contact between the tires and the clips for the lights, leading to the truck not being able to roll properly. So you'll see if I compared the instructions, you can see that the wheels should be placed 3 studs back from this 4x4 plate, and they should be placed like right behind the plate above the larger base plate. So I place them 1 stud forward, and what happens when I place them 1 stud back, where the instruction says they should be, is you see the wheels are now in contact with these clips and they can't roll smoothly. I tried to roll the truck in the table, the front wheels roll, but it doesn't roll. So I've just fixed this by placing the wheels one stud forward. Now, I originally thought that this was because the set was designed with thin clips and that using thin clips would allow the wheels to be placed properly with no issues, but after substituting in a thin clip, I found that using that creates contact as well. I'm not sure how LEGO missed its design flaw, but I fixed it by moving the wheels forward by one stud. And now the truck can roll properly. Next is the flatbed wagon. This is a fairly standard 16 stud long train wagon. The undercarriage construction is used in several other sets. So you see, this is the same undercarriage construction as used in sets like 7727 and 7722. On top, there's some design with tiles and plates to accommodate the two included containers, and the base plate is actually extended by one stud on each side with these top plates so that it can fit both the containers. The red cones are a nice detail to kind of secure the containers in place, and the hoses on either end are used well. I'll explain that soon when I put the containers on. The last small builds are the two shipping containers. These are identically constructed and are 4x8 studs long. They have plates on the bottom so they can be slotted onto the truck and freight wagon using tiles, but they will not move. So you see these brackets, there are raised tiles on the flatbed truck and the wagon that slot into these places here, and then the containers can't move. They also have stickers on the sides with the standard box and arrows of LEGO shipping sets. And then one end has two doors made from the standard large shutters, and then inside each container has 4 1x2 yellow bricks for some cargo. On the roof of each container is a fixed red bracket for the crane's hook to slot into. These containers can, as I said, slot into the truck or the freight wagon. So here, if they just slot on like that, and then they can't really move, they can just be taken off, and then they can also be attached to the flatbed wagon like this. The hoses in the flatbed wagon are, I believe, to keep the door shut, and this is a really nice detail because sometimes you'll notice these types of shutters can swing open easily, and you'll notice that if you watch a video of the 7730 gondola wagon running. My shutters are pretty loose, so they swing open all the time and then hit other trains. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying. So if I put these containers on, you can see that the hoses on either end, they're flexible, but they allow the container to slot in, and then they keep these doors shut, so the doors can't really open. And if these hoses are removed, then these doors might be able to swing open and then all the cargo would come out. One other detail is that the containers can be put in either direction onto the truck bed. So the doors can be facing the back here or the front. But on the flatbed wagon, the doors must be facing away from each other, because if they're facing towards each other, then you can only put one container on, because the doors prevent another container from getting slotted on like that. So they have to be put with the doors facing towards the hoses. Lastly, we get to the crane itself. This is a very large assembly with great functionality. It's built on a 32x32 stud road base plate, and it has 2 track sections attached to this side here. The road has low walls on either side, which have rails for the crane to slide along. The crane is mounted on wheels and can slide along the base plate easily. So you can see this entire section can just move backwards and forwards over the base plate. It has 3 yellow and black chevron stickers on either side of the crane here, and the left side over here has a ladder which corresponds to the ladder on this control seat cabin here. And then the red assembly on the top can slide horizontally along the rails on the top, as you can see. And then it has the winch system. So the gray crank on the top here can release the string for the hook to lower, like this, and then it can also raise it back up. The crank piece has a ratchet inside, and the end of the string is attached to the crane. So on the other side, the string is actually tied to this clip over here instead of just the hook itself. So the crane can actually lift a lot of weight and it will stay up. The hook is made of metal, so it will move down with its own weight when the string is let out. And then finally, the cabin with the control seat can open. Hopefully you can see right here, this little piece here is on a hinge, and it can just hinge up to access the second minifigure inside with the 2 control levers. When the 2 axes of motion are combined, so the back and forwards movement and in the side-to-side movement, the crane can basically cover any point on the included track or the road plate. So it can transfer containers from the truck to the wagon and vice versa. And then the last detail I'd like to mention is that the end of the crane channel over the track can actually hinge up to provide additional clearance for very tall loads, but I don't think you'll have a problem with this because none of the official 12-volt sets even come close to the bottom of the crane. All right, and lastly, in real time, I'm going to transfer a container from the truck to the flatbed wagon. So as you can see, the crane is pretty functional. This set sells fairly consistently from $100 to $200 depending on the condition and whether it has the box or not. Sealed copies typically sell for between $300 and $400. I bought my copy from a seller in the United States for about $170, which is on the higher end of the price spectrum for used sets, but it's in really nice condition. Remember, I got a new sticker sheet with the set. It was probably only built once or twice. Overall, I actually really like this set. Of the 3 freight loading depots available, this one is my favorite. It's the largest one, looks very industrial, the functionality is great, and I like the design of the wagon with the containers. Combined with 7862, this makes for a great shunting setup in a layout, and I intend to do this with upcoming layouts. The freight wagon can easily be pulled with any freight train or even by itself. I would solidly recommend this set to anyone looking to expand their freight yard if you can spare the cash. Trackside accessory sets such as level crossings, large stations, and freight loading depots add a lot to the layout, and this set is, in my opinion, one of the best. With that said, this concludes my review of the 7823. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be working on layout 12 soon, which will certainly include the set, and I think a second collection overview is coming up because I've gotten several new sets since the last one. In fact, I'm working on potentially a post-holiday order to add some more boxed accessories to the collection. If you've gotten to the end of the video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.